Hasn't kicked over yet. All right, Drew, looks like we're live. So I know a couple people looks like they're already in. So again, I'm Lewis with Top Road Racing Media. Then we have Drew Jack with National Compact Touring Series, Midwest Dirt Compact Touring Series, Great Lakes Promotions, Great Lakes Memorabilia. Am I missing anything?
A whole bunch of other stuff.
I think
how you doing tonight, Lewis?
Good, you?
I am doing just fine, just trying to keep everything organized, and we have a lot coming up in a very short amount of time. And if you fully understand that getting marketing stuff done and partnerships should be done in October, when you're working on them in March, and you're going to lose sleep and not have a lot of sleep in the coming days. So, but with that being said, it's all part of the business, and we move forward. We got some really exciting things coming up. Yeah. We have some nice guests tonight. We were both at the Hartford Speedway banquet. Tim and Leah did a really nice job, and we'll let Leah talk about that when she joins us. I see she's joining the room here shortly. But if we got an opportunity, let's talk about what's going on at Lane Automotive this upcoming Saturday. So we have the Safety Summit. It's from 8 to 2 at Lane Automotive. You do not have to pre-register, but if you would like to be entered into the raffles that they have, and they give away a lot of stuff. I was getting text messages after I left 2 hours saying I won stuff, and I was debating if I was going to go get it or not. I just let it go. But that is from 8 to 2. Kurt Spalding, Ryan Disterhoff, and Matt Kemp put a lot of effort into it. They would love to see you. That's 8 to 2 on Monday. Or Saturday, sorry. They usually do it on Fridays, but the MSBA is there on Friday.
Yep.
But all the racetracks are invited. There's going to be a lot of special guests coming. So just check it out. So with that being said, was there anything you wanted to cover?
Other than right now, on Top Row Racing Media, I have my annual March Motor Madness that's going. So for those who have been a part of the page since about November, we always start with the Battle of the Tracks, which I call the Turkey. Now I forget the name, but it involves the Gobbler. So we do the Gobbler, which is Battle of the Tracks. And again, that's to promote the tracks, right? It gets the tracks out there, tracks people may not know, but they are kind of pitted against each other. Like you do have to vote for one or the other. It is a tournament at the end of the day. And then we always transition to Battle of the Classes. So the tracks are a one-time round, and then I've had 6 tournament champions, which all have the 6 highest seeds, and they were randomized. The MCR Dwarf cars are the number 1 seed again for the second time in 3 tournaments. So this is their second time as the number 1 seed. And then there's 26 total. I had to tie 2 spots, 4 classes, and I'm like, I could do a runoff, or I can adjust the tournament a little bit. And so right now there's a play-in. So there's 2 play-in matches that are going today. The school buses are going against the quarter midgets, which quarter midgets are kind of annihilating. They're that group strong. Last year they won as the 23rd seed, so they know what they're doing. And then enduro racing gets tomorrow. They get to go against limited late models. So, and then we'll get into the bulk, the matchups. And so on my website is a live bracket. So as soon as we're off here and I update, it was 37-0 last time I looked. So I think quarter midgets are pretty safe, but once we're done here, I'll go update that, and it updates live. The bracket's live on my website. So there's a page dedicated to it. So if people want to see when's my favorite class coming up, it has all the dates that those voting things will take place. So definitely something is exciting. It's for it's bragging rights, right? But it's advertising drivers, it's showing their cars, it's showing the different classes. So it's all for fun, right? There's no big trophy or anything at the end, but a little bit of bragging rights. I know the quarter midgets were excited last year. So that's going on, and that's all month. That'll end on April 2nd and 3rd with the 2-day battle for the championship.
Awesome. So let's bring Leah on from the Hartford Speedway, and we'll talk about their banquet and their upcoming season. Oop.
Oh, we both did the same thing at the same time.
Hi, Miss Leah. How are you doing tonight?
Good. How are you guys?
Good. It looks like you're joining us from your garage out in the workshop where Tim hangs out all the time.
Yeah, Tim's man cave. Yeah.
So you guys had a really successful banquet or party, I guess you would say, at the Chiefs Bar in Millsburg, I think it was. And
Yep.
we had a lot of fun, and it looked like your drivers had a lot of fun. Kind of talk about it, because you guys do it a little bit different than everybody else, and I think it's kind of cool how you do it. You invite your top 10 in each classes, but you provide them with a meal, and I don't believe you charge them a ticket, where most places would charge a $40 banquet.
We, since day one, the first year, Tim and I have never charged any of the drivers to get into the banquet. And somewhere along the lines, we used to charge for the guests to come in, but then we just do driver and a guest are free, and it's top 10 get awards, and we let like any drivers are welcome. We kind of keep it to a little bit on the down low and a little bit to our I don't want to say more local guys, but we kind of try to keep it a little more intimate and private, because like I said, we don't like to charge anybody. It's very casual, and it's just a nice night to get together and visit and hang out.
It was really well attended. There was a lot of nice people there, and everybody seemed to be excited. There was one guest that joined via a video call. Let's talk about that, because that's pretty exciting news for Parker to be home.
Yes, Parker McKinney, one of our Cyberstock drivers. He's only 16. He was in a bad accident. I believe it was about a month and a half ago. And he was in the hospital the whole time. And then he was at Mary Free Bed. And he's made a awesome partial recovery to this point so far. And he got out of the hospital Friday, and they were going to do their best to come, but they didn't make it. He ended up not feeling good. But we did a video, and we got him a special award. We got him a hard charger award on and off the track, because he's a really good kid, does his best when he's racing, and I'm super proud of him for putting in the work, and his whole family, him and his mom, to get him better. And hopefully we'll see him out at the track this year.
So Parker actually started in the Great Lakes Mini Wedge Series and up at Berlin Raceway. So my group has been attached to Parker too, and it was kind of cool. His first big car race was at your track, and it was our traveling series, and he actually made the A feature. So he's going to be a rising star once he gets his health issues taken care of, and it was a big positive to see him home and be able to accept their award from you guys.
For sure, yeah.
So when you get into a banquet, right, when you guys are planning that, and you kind of talk with your philosophy about, not charging drivers, not charging the gas, keeping it low key, what's something that when you come out of that banquet that, because we know the race season's tough, right? Especially for you guys on Fridays last year, Mother Nature was less than kind, in a lot of ways. So that could be frustrating. That could be stressful. A lot of fans and maybe even drivers may not know everything, that you guys have into the track and what you do. So when you come out of a banquet like that, what kind of foot forward, does that give you guys going into 2026?
Like I said, we know that we're appreciated by all the drivers. And it's, like I said, it's a close, small knit group of guys, and we know that they appreciate us a lot. So it just gives you that push forward to keep on going. And also, thank you so much for the amazing video.
Oh, no, you're welcome.
At the banquet, and everybody, as you know, everybody just loved it.
It was fun watching people around the room. So I had my friend Andy come up to the banquet. She's not been to Hartford yet, but it's definitely a goal of hers. That's something she's looking forward to doing. And I've told her Race of Doom. If there's anything you see, it's the race of doom night. But that's something that as we were watching, you could tell around the room different spots where you heard the oohs and the ahs, or you heard, like they made the video, right? Like, and so that was something that was really fun. And, that was a lot of hours. If I used AI, I could have had that in 15 minutes and it would have been done. And I could have put it to fancy music and all that. Luckily you guys had the music. So now it's like, okay, 4 minutes, 30 seconds. Let's roll into this. And it turned out to be 110 clips, which represents the 110 years that property has existed. So it's kind of one of those, there are a lot of Easter eggs in there. So that was really cool to see that and watch that. Because when you create something like, I know when I do spotlights, people who are on my personal page, they know that's one of my most stressful days of the week, because I'm writing about people. And a lot of times I'm basing it on like what I know of a person. And sometimes I get like little snippets from people, but I have to, I'm putting in the work. I write it. I don't use ChatGPT or anything to do that. Like, that's all me putting that together. And I'm stressed because it's like, how's the person reading about themselves going to take the spotlight? And did I do it justice? Did I put the spotlight on them like they deserve? So those are always stressful. So it's something like that video. I watched it 20 times, which again, I told you, I'm surprised I didn't dream about that song. But I watched it before even sending it to you guys, because it's really nerve wracking. Like, okay, I'm liking it. I'm liking the flow. I'm liking it, but are they going to? And then you did. Now are the drivers who are watching it, right? That's stressful. Like when it comes to creativity, because you're putting yourself out there.
No, it was amazing. You did a great job, and everything went well with the song, and it was, you did a really, really great job. Everybody loved it.
I definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, it was great. Thank you. Can I give a shout out real quick?
Oh yeah. Hey, it's your floor.
My son, Timmy Dibble, is watching in the house. Hi, Timmy.
Hi, Timmy. You better hide the machete or you might be in trouble when you get inside.
Right. I might be if I don't do a good job.
I'll let him know what's that.
Does Timmy know that he was in the video when him and Tim were going out onto the track to water?
Yes, I showed him yesterday, and I like stopped it and zoomed it in, and he thought that was pretty cool. So thanks a lot for that.
And I know he likes the monster trucks too, right? So
for sure.
The monster trucks, they got enough spots in there, so it's because I know he really likes that too. So again, that's those are Easter eggs, right? That the people watching may not know all those kind of things, but it's like, when you're making something, you just really want to honor, all the different things. And again, that was really fun to make. So again, thank you for trusting me with such a huge.
Well, thank you. You did an amazing job.
Well, Leah, I'm going to put you on the spot because nobody knows the amount of pressure that you and Tim go on a race night and through the week and trying to get staff there. What has it been like for 13 years now at Hartford Speedway of trying to make sure, let alone that you guys get race fans in the stands? You handle the social media, the front end of the house. Tim handles the race operations, I guess we would say. You guys make a perfect team. But with that team, you have a lot of people that help combine that team. It's not just Tim and Leah, as you said at the banquet. It is an entire team. Number one, how stressful it is to make sure that you have a staff every Friday or Saturday for your night of destructions and weekly races. And how do you deal with that pressure as a track owner, you and Tim?
I'm going to say I always pick on Tim because he has about 10 people that he has to make sure are there. And on a night of destruction, I probably have about 40 people. But I'm going to say, there's some people, like Tim said at the banquet, that have been there from day one with us, all 13 years. And then over the last couple of years, there's a couple of years there. I don't remember like when along those years, but that it was like a little bit hard maybe getting people there, or people just not show up or whatever on my end. His side is always, they're always there. But just on those extra nights, finding the extra people. But the last couple of years have been really, really good with all the extra hands that I need on deck. And so really the last couple of years has honestly not been stressful to get people. And I have a lot of young people that reach out. A lot of like kids from Hartford schools and stuff, they reach out, and so it's not been too bad. And I always have like a couple backup people or friends or family that God bless him, are always willing to be thrown in somewhere, if I need them. So, I mean, and we know, we've been in the community forever, so we know a lot of people. So I can always find somebody.
I think your announcer is employee number one. He's
Yeah.
been
Amen. God love him. Yes.
Well,
Yes. He's the very best.
that you have like 5 or 6 people who've only missed one night, and maybe combined 5 total between all of them over 13 years.
Yeah. Yep. For sure. Yeah. Well, like Wayne missed one night ever. Tina and Dylan Tucker missed 2 nights, I think. And God bless them. They hate missing. But yeah, like I said, a lot of people have been there from day one. My friend Ron, just an amazing guy who does anything and everything that we need. But like I said, there's a ton of great people. My daughter, Jessica, in case she's watching, the best cook, who knew, ever, that cooks for those great big huge crowds. But like I said, there's just so many people and so many friends and family that help out, and yeah, it's great without our, and I love our staff. Like, we are the Disneyland of racetracks. That's what I always say. Like, everywhere you turn, from Tim's side to my side, like, I pride myself on good, fast, friendly service. So,
well, and I know Megan's in the room now. She's not with us, she's watching in the background, but I know, they have a similar philosophy there, right? That fast, friendly, old school, old style, like respect and everything. So, when it comes to like Hartford and what you guys do, how can you even help fans who are watching who may not know about dirt track, right? We're in a very asphalt heavy area. What does it take to get a dirt track ready? Because it's not just Friday night, right? Like, people I see the trucks going around and doing that, but it's taken thousands and thousands of gallons of water and track prep and everything just to get to Friday. And when it's super hot in July, it probably took a little bit more thousands of gallons of water. So, what is it for people watching who may not know? What does it take to run a dirt track?
Well, Tim is there probably about, I would say 4 nights, like maybe including race week or race night, maybe like 4 nights a week. And that all depends too on the weather. It's basically like farming, right? If it depends on the sun, if you have enough wind, when you're watering, when you're out there grooming the track, grading the track, there's like a science to it that I'm not going to lie, I don't know a ton about. I have jumped in the tractor and helped him grade a few times last year while he and Timmy watered. Yeah, so he's out there a lot. His guys are out there. There's always something to fix, like plumbing that breaks, or the wreckers in our garage right now. A truck, something's always broke and something needs fixing. And luckily, Tim is super handy, and so are most of his guys. Electrical that needs to be fixed. And then I condense myself to race night and one day during the week, because I have Timmy during the summer with me all the time. So I do the food orders. So I put the food orders away with help of a couple great people and get all that stuff ready for race night. So those are pretty much my days, race night and then a day during the week. But Tim's there a lot more and a lot longer hours and later hours. And it all, like I said, depends on the weather, what he needs to do to the track. So it's a lot of hours during the week for him.
Don't discount yourself, because we do know that you control the Hartford Speedway social media, and we know that's a lot of work, and you actually do a great job at it. And we'll talk to Megan about that. She does a great job at M4.
Thank you.
I think you undercut yourself on that and how important that is to a racetrack and the amount of effort that you put into it. You get mad when you only have 12,000 shares and you call me bitching about it, and I go, I only have 73. And I'm like, just shut up. So
why am I not reaching 1,000 every time? It should be 1,000 every week.
What am I doing wrong? And that just shows that you care about your venue, you care about your race fans, and it's not easy to do it because social media changes, and you seem to, I don't know how you do it. You probably have a direct line to a Facebook guy out in California, but
it's you.
It's not me, it's you.
You too. Both of you guys.
But I just wanted to point that out, that you even though if you say I just put the food order in and put it away, you do a lot more than
That
that. That
online
takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
The phone calls, trying to find staff. So um, you and Tim do an amazing job. I didn't mean to cut you off, but that
No,
was
thank
still
you.
an important
I
point.
mean, we're very opposite of you, as you guys know, and anybody that knows us knows that, but we do make a really good team. So we complement each other and we make a good team.
Well, and that's something that, one thing that we know is it's not the elephant in the room because it's been multiple years now, but it's the whole, when you went from half mile to 3/8 mile, right? Like
Mm.
still today, you hear about that darn half mile, and it's like, people, it's gone. It's not coming back. It's not going to come back. Even if there's someone else, they're not bringing it back because it's financially not going to make sense, right? But
Yeah.
you have built a really loyal fan base, who comes out, they support you, they engage well with you on social media. So that's something that, when you look at a lot of other tracks, they're active too. Like obviously we're going to have Russell's M40 Speedway, and they too, as I said in Megan's Spotlight the other day, M40 had a lot of meetings with the Grim Reaper and it was Death Valley, not Thunder Valley. And they've put the Thunder back in the Valley. So what's something that in your time, 13 years as an owner, whether it's social media or whatever, what have you seen like the biggest change when it comes to like your fan base, which is hardcore, dedicated? They're
Mm. The biggest change that I have seen is honestly, like, I hate to say this, but I mean, people that are being honest know it's true. Um, no matter what we do, and Tim and I have, as I always say, beat the dead horse for this will be the 13th season to do anything and everything we can do to get race fans there. And um, just the crowds are not the same. There's the cars. There's not as many cars out there. So that's just a struggle. Always seeing what we can do because it for sure is a racetrack, and to Tim first and foremost, it's a racetrack. To me, it's a racetrack and an entertainment facility.
Mhm.
I mean, you guys know how I feel about all that. But I would love the crowds to be like it was when we first took over, and it was full all the time. But it's not feasible to do that in today's economy, and maybe 13 years ago, and the interest maybe is just not there for racing as a whole. I mean, not just our track, but you know.
Yeah, I think that's one tough thing. Like, I kind of call it home turf down here because I'm closer to Hartford than I am anywhere else. And so it's kind of like home turf. And like in my community, I think you guys have done a nice job with like all of your gear, your souvenirs. I see Hartford stuff
Thank you.
all the time. And obviously being near Lakeshore Auto Body Shop, I see those Crown Vics all the time. So I know on Cleveland Avenue, one of the busiest roads in Berrien County, you guys have, billboards basically, right there with the Crown Vics and the Lakeshore Auto Body Shop and everything. That's a busy spot
Mhm.
with with 100 acres of sports facilities right there, a lot of eyeballs. And so what do you think it's going to take? Like you do food deals, $5 hot dog and chips and all that. It's self-serve concession. Like you have all these things. So what's something in 2026 that you guys are thinking about trying or looking to, like what's one more carrot or one more thing that might pull some people into, they're spending less at a racetrack than they are at a Notre Dame game, Michigan State game, March Madness. I mean, if you can go watch the Indiana Hoosiers, which I know is history, but if you can go watch them in Florida and pay $100,000 for a ticket, you can spend $60 at a racetrack, right? So,
Right.
what's something that you guys are thinking about trying in 2026 to see if it's one more thing that might work?
Um, well, we're working on some things. I don't really know what those are yet, but working on some things like to celebrate our, us. We're like last minute, right? I mean, we have 2 months still, but uh, some things to like celebrate our 75th year anniversary.
Yep.
I don't know exactly what that is, like some specials, or maybe if we can, we're talking to one of our sponsors right now about maybe doing something tying that in. Um, Of course, like we always usually do some food specials here and there and stuff, and we'll have, new 75-year anniversary merch to sell. And then just different, we try to provide a schedule that will offer something to everybody, to pull more people in.
Well, you got World of Outlaws coming back, and that's
Mhm.
huge for the area, because isn't that the first time in a few years that they've been in Michigan? I feel like it's been a little bit.
Yeah, since 2019, I believe, was the last time they were there.
So
Yeah.
you have World of Outlaws coming. I know Great
Mhm.
Lakes Super Sprints. They kind of have a home at Hartford.
Mhm.
They have a few more dates this year than they did last year, if
Yep.
I saw right. But so what are some of your events? Your big ones coming up that you can let fans know, like, hey, put this on your calendar.
Well, we start out May 2nd with a monster truck throwdown. That's always a great show. Elliot does a great job with that. The tickets are super reasonable. I think they are 20, don't quote me, sorry, 20-ish for adults. That includes like the free pit party and all of that. And it's outside, so it's not super loud, which I like that a lot better myself. So it's reasonable. It's fun. If you like monster trucks, it's just all monster trucks that day.
Yeah.
We have GLSS wing sprints. That will be like the next week on May 8th. We have them 2 times this year. And we have American Sprint Car Tour Series. That's a new one for us. They're coming June 19th. We have the All-Star Sprints back again. They were a pleasure to work with as well. Rich Farmer. That's Friday, July 31st. They come. And of course, Midwest Dirt. God bless Andy Jack, because that provides us a couple more race nights. And they have the stock car special at the end of end of the year there, and a couple enduros. Our super awesome fireworks show on Friday, July 3rd. And we have non-wings, super troopers, and cybers that night too. And then we have a big late model show that we are putting on ourselves. Tim and Leah are. That's Friday, July 17th. So one chance to see them. And then we have 4 Night of Destructions thrown in there too. So little something for everybody. And yeah, it should be a great season.
And for most of your like weekly nights, you guys do 3 classes. So it's the UMP modifieds. Those are or are you still UMP, or did you switch over to IMCA?
We are, but they are only coming we're only having the mods one night this year.
Okay.
And that is the late model show. That's Friday, July 17th. We have the late models, 3,000 to win, and UMP mods, 2,000 to win, and then Super Troopers and Cybers.
Okay. And for Super Troopers, for those who may not know, those are your factory Fords, Crown Vics, like what you see at Russell's. I know they have the next best car count. You guys have Crown Vics coming out of the woods. They're from everywhere, and they put on, a good show. I know
they do
a bunch in that class, and so, so I know we're getting close to kind of wrapping up here. So what's something that you're really looking forward to when you think about 2026? What's something that you're really looking forward to this year?
I am looking forward to the World of Outlaws, just because everybody loves them. It's been so long since they've been back. Of course, the monster truck shows, because all the kids, including my kid, love them. But I mean, really, like I said, every race night, because we have a great schedule. I love seeing the race fans, the drivers, my amazing staff. Like I love the people, so I like to be there and put smiles on everybody's faces, and I enjoy being there. So I'm just looking forward to the whole season and the warm weather, and hopefully Mother Nature is kind to us this year.
Last year, I mean, even at Kalamazoo, it was every other week. We got to a point where it's like we had 3 races in 6 weeks or whatever it was, 6, 7 weeks. And that's not a joke, by the way, the 6, 7 joke. That was the true, like, it's been 6, 7 weeks. And then you look at the points, like, oh man, that really wreaks havoc on the points.
Yeah.
So we talk about rain. You ever want a week off, just call me. I'll come to the races, and it'll rain when I'm there. So we got rained out 5 times last year when we attempted to race.
Yeah,
there.
Quite a lot. Yeah.
So, but with that being said, we know the work and effort that you and Tim put into the track. what are some of the unsung heroes? I know you mentioned them a little bit, but let's give them some shine here on the podcast. Who are some of the guys that helped you in the kitchen, helped Tim on the race side that maybe not get to hear their name enough?
Want me to name off everybody?
No, just a few.
Tina and Dylan Tucker, my daughter Jessica Dibble, Marissa joined us last year. My good friend Kelly, God bless Kelly, I love her in the kitchen. Carmen, Caitlin, always willing to lend a hand. God bless her too. Like I said, a lot of the kids from Hartford schools work there. Um, and like I said, my friend Ron Strawbridge, God love him. Can't say enough about him. Lots of behind the scenes stuff before we start, during, he gets there early, helps me get everything set up, spoils everybody. My mother in law, God bless her, working in the t shirt booth. Um, oh, my cousin Tina Whedon, I'm going to make her watch this just so she can hear this. She is a godsend, her and her daughter Alyssa, but Tina helps me get the sky boxes cleaned, cleaning all the concessions. I mean, I like the place like so you can eat off the floors, right? She helps me get everything spick and span started for the season. So without her, literally, I would be in trouble. There's not enough hours in the day for me to get everything done. Bradley Graham, Wayne Klaus, Greg Merkel, Jack Ruggiero, he's a big help. Um, I probably forgot somebody, but anyway, like I said, there's just a lot of amazing people that help around there.
Absolutely. So, where can they find the Hartford Speedway schedule, your website, any other information you want to provide, and your skyboxes? I believe are sold out for the year, and all
Yeah,
your upper reserve seating is probably taken as usual.
yes, God, yeah, thank God. Everything's sold out and I have a waiting list, so that's great. Yeah, the schedule, it is on our Facebook page too, and we will be having some printed copies floating around soon. And then at our website, www.hartfordspeedway.net, you can find the schedule there. Um, the World of Outlaw tickets you can buy ahead of time at SLS Promotions. For those, especially if you want reserve seats, not the very top row of reserve seats, but right under that, halfway up, I would get on and get those. The monster truck tickets you can also get online as well. Monster truck throwdown, you can buy those online. Everything else is cash only at the track the day of, but those two events you can buy ahead of time. That's legit. They will take
Awesome.
your credit card.
All right.
Well, here, you're going to hate me for this, but
Oh
because you're
God.
coming to MSPA on Friday, I do get a vote in this. So I'm going to campaign for you and Megan to join the MSPA board. So you have no choice to attend these events coming up in October.
What does that entail? What do I have to do?
You have to show up to the meetings.
Okay. Does it get me someplace warm? Is that an excuse to go someplace warm or no?
Well, I mean, you can go to RPM in Florida, which you should. Megan showed too. I see her smiling. She didn't show up.
I'm going to bring
You
Megan
both
on.
need to go next year. You and Bill. Bill's watching.
I'm going.
Too. I saw him.
I'm going. I need more vacations. Hi, Megan.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
And I brought
Sorry.
Megan on because April 11th, Dirt vs. Asphalt at Russell's M40 Speedway, right? We have the Super Trooper Crown Vics that are going to go toe to toe.
Well, we're not promoting it that way anymore after I learned something. So we're inviting all the Hartford Speedway guys to be there. But I think we're not going to spoil something. But I think Leah and Tim and Megan were working on something. I was not aware of that.
Okay. Didn't I tell you that the other day? Well, I told you that after the fact, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Okay. Yeah.
That's okay. We still got it up our sleeve. We'll be fine.
Okay. Thank you guys for having me on too. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Leah, but that's a cheap plug for, April 11th coming up, right? You'll be able to see those, possibly see those Super Troopers down there. So I'm excited for that because I know that, you just have a great group of not only racers in general in Hartford, right? But,
We do.
kind of merge in one spot, at another place that just has a lot of fantastic people. So, there can't be a better environment, I think, that day just to kind of bring everyone together. So certainly thank you both for what you do for racing.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, you're welcome again. Thank you, Leah, for all your time. And if anyone has any additional comments for Leah, definitely let them know in the comments and we'll get them to you. But again, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Leah. We'll see you soon. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you to Leah for joining us tonight. Her and Tim put a lot of effort. Speaking of another family that puts a lot of effort, it's certainly a family effort between Johnny, Penny, Bill, and Meghan at Russell's M40 Speedway. So a lot of people don't know who Meghan is other than the lady that breaks up fights at M40 Speedway on Saturday night. Tell the race fans and the viewers on our channels who Meghan is, what she does for Russell's M40 Speedway, because you do a lot.
Breaking up fights is a big one. But I do the social media stuff. I try to coordinate the events as best as I can. John also has his hands in that a lot too, and so does Bill. But yeah, I try to do the schedule. I do flyers. I do media. I try to do my best at videos. Try to get the winners every night to try to hype them up about it all too. But yeah, I think I'm
What's
missing
the weather today?
well,
We're not.
It's gonna rain this week for sure.
Yeah. Well, that's something that that video, right, is probably one of the most popular videos that came out. So what was the story behind that, right? Because I'm sure, I just really appreciate what you guys do at M40, Russell's M40, right? Where, one night I was talking with Johnny after the night of destruction. I'm like, you guys just be you, right? Like, don't worry about assimilating with everyone else because you guys just got to be you. So what's the story behind the weather girl moment that went everywhere?
Well, I don't think there's a really long story. We had rainouts all of July, and I was just like thinking about it. And of course, Mean Girls came through my head because who doesn't love that movie? And I was like, I probably should do like a video of that. Like, because we had so many rainouts, lighten up the mood. That's never an easy thing reading across your screen as a racer or a promoter or anything else. So, I made Josh put a hose on me with like spraying it over me, and I had my hat on, and I just, today's weather is raining. I had to practice the skid a couple times, but yeah, that went crazy. I was really kind of surprised. I had people asking me like, what is that about? It's like, I have the video, so it's not like some off the left field thing. So
Right. No, it's one of those that I remember talking to your mom, and I said I had to watch it, not in a creepy way, like 3 times, but I'm like, did she do what I think she did? Right?
For sure.
It was one of those like, was that on purpose? Was it accidental? Was there a bug there? Was there something that I missed? And it was just being a weather girl. And there's a track. Drew, you were in that session with me at PRI where they were talking about they have a weather person, and those weather updates go crazy. Even if it's sunny, they come up with something new. They have costumes, they have different things, and it's entertainment, right? It gets people excited, it gets people laughing, it kind of lightens the mood, right? So what is your approach with social media at M40?
I just try to get everybody recognized. I have a really good photographer coming back, Mackenzie. She is amazing at all the stuff, and we have you sometimes when you can come out and see us, but we also have Crashers Adventures, and he does a phenomenal job too. So some of my content, I'm very fortunate. I just get to share sometimes and share the love with it. But really just trying to highlight little things that we do, like Grandpa saying bye to people when they leave, him sitting in the stands usually with Chris Blackburn, little things that kind of tie us all together with it. Stacy in the ticket booth or riding whatever Power Wheel she found that day around, just trying to do that kind of stuff.
Well, and even with your concession stands, right? Like the deep fried Crustables that you guys were doing that first year, that just took off like crazy too. So it's not even that it's just like racetrack specific content. Like you are covering all these different things. And so when you're doing that social media, you guys also have, making racing great again. So how does that even come into play? And how did you guys come up with the make racing great again?
That one was Grandpa. Oh, sorry, Bill. That one was Bill. He definitely, that's been something from his past that he doesn't see a lot because growing up racing, doing the stuff. I mean, we all know the wild Bill Russell stories. It's not the same as what it was back then. And so one thing that he really and John both really wanted to push was bringing back some of the older traditions that they really enjoyed. And that was, the Making Racing Great Again. It just fit so well. So we just rolled with it, and it's been really good to us. I mean, we went and trademarked it and everything. So
Oh, wow.
it's been,
Okay.
yeah, we did that our first year because we, it is a big thing, and it's so easy to try to say that stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, I learned something new. I didn't know that you guys trademark it. It's
Yeah.
not trademark logo next to that each time.
Right. I should.
Intellectual property. And but that's something that I know that's you guys really like to be authentic, and you really like to just be you. So what is something that when you guys sit down and you think of all these things, what are your core values, your core missions, that you really look for every single night? Like, no matter what happens, no matter how it happens, no matter why it happens, we're going to stick to these things.
I don't know that I've really given that a whole lot of thought, to be completely honest. One thing that I know that we have across the board is we try to show respect for everybody across the board. It doesn't matter where you came from, how you got there, how you didn't get there, what you were supposed to do. But just being truthful and honest, and just being respectful for everybody across your boards. Even if you yelled at me last week, odds are I'm going to smile and be like, hey, I'm back. What's up? And that's across, like, even in concessions and my crew team and all of that as well.
So you grew up in a racing family. You raced a little bit before that. When they told you your family was purchasing M40 Speedway, what were your first thoughts when they told you that?
I was a little nervous. I went out and looked at the track itself with the family, and Grandpa just kind of looked at me and was like, "Are you ready?" And I was like, "What are we doing? Aren't we just looking at this place?" And ever since then, we've hit the ground running. So I don't know if I've really grasped it yet. We just keep hitting the ground running.
Well, that's why when I did your spotlight the other day, right? Like, as I tell everyone, I put a lot of thought into the words and the words that are on there. But that's just something that, what's impressive is what you guys have been able to do there. From literally, I think it was July 23rd or whatever that was, 21st, something like that, when you open the gates for the first time and there's people.
Yeah.
I was there before that, and there weren't people, and there's people, and that's nothing against people from the past, right? Like, everybody, I think, had the heart to try to make it, successful, tried to do those things, right? But you guys just, it was like a thunder strike. You just struck, and you came in hot, ready to go. So what has been the challenge for you guys as you navigate this? You say it hasn't quite still like sunk in yet, but and I don't know that you guys always give yourself the credit that you deserve, but it's like, it's truly what you guys have done for that track, for that facility, for racing in Southwest Michigan, even Northwest Indiana, and you give people options and opportunities. So with that, though, what are the challenges that you guys have faced in that time, even as you make racing great again?
Sponsors have been a bit of a challenge. We have amazing sponsors, don't get me wrong, but getting them the first kind of go around and stuff like that, that was kind of a challenge because there was so many, like, I'm not going to name names or anything, but there were so many unbroken promises with sponsorships previously that it was just, hi, I'm Megan, I'm the new whatever. And they're like, yeah, no, we're not interested, and I feel like that sponsorship's always kind of a uphill battle for every track. But then, we had, like, our first year we ran, we had so many volunteers, and that was amazing. Like, we have a huge family, but we even have, our family's even bigger now because of how many people we have on our team. But we have other than that, and then rebranding really helped us get past a lot of those mountains too.
Yep.
You talk about the rebranding, and that's getting involved with the community. So your mom is involved with the Chamber of Commerce.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have done some outside events outside of racing. And, when I saw these pop up on social media, I'm like, what the heck are they doing? It's never going to work. And it's just every track promoter thing. But you guys made them work, and you made them work very well. Like the family night out, the Chamber of Commerce night, the trunk or treat. Talk about some of that stuff and what it's meant to bring new people into the racetrack and how you guys came about those ideas.
The chamber's been amazing to us. They host an event every year to get people to do something that they've never done before. We drew that straw. Actually, I think my mom volunteered, to be completely honest. But that was something that we couldn't have done. I'm going to be completely honest and give a shout out to Cobra Racing, because they made that night so much fun. They let people drive their cars and all of that stuff too. But that's just a way to try to get the community back involved into not only racing, but within each other. Like, a lot of business owners came out to that night for the chamber night, the national night out. It's a free event. We had food trucks and all of that stuff. But just really trying to emphasize on the community building is what we were really trying to get at with all of that.
And then you got a new event coming up in April. Talk about that one. April 18th. It's the home show or lake show.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, Home Lake and the Home Lake Expo. So that is John Saylor. He is handling a lot of our sponsorship stuff, trying to get other events that are unique to us. That is something he drew up one day and he's been running with, and we have lots of good vendors coming out. It's just a way to get more businesses recognized and bring them into our community, and just try to get, and honestly, contract it out. Come sit at the racetrack instead. You're going to have a better time. And there's a lot of good vendors lined up, which that list will be coming out soon as well.
Well, something else that you guys are doing, even with your Day of Reckoning, which is a little different, right? Like doing it on a Sunday. It's like you guys always just seem to find a way to do something different, right? And find something that's unique to you. So where did even that come from, like the Day of Reckoning?
John is the guru for all NOD things, Day of Reckoning things. He even helped with a lot of the Kalamazoo stuff once upon a time. I'm pretty sure he put a limo through a camper a couple times up there. And but he wanted to do something along those lines, and we were trying to brand it. And I brand most of the things that we do here at M40. And I was thinking of like Rex and this and that. And, John's nickname is the Judge. And I was like, reckoning, like, and like we have a side business that is Purgatory. So I was just trying to connect us all into something. So I pitched the idea of Day of Reckoning, and John didn't bat an eye. So we ran with it.
Yeah, and I'm excited to be there for those, just because, we kind of talked, there weren't a ton of cars at your first one, right?
Right.
And you're kind of looking like, okay, what's this going to look like? And not in a bad way, right? But it was one of those, like, this night of destruction. There was about 25 cars. They're going to be hitting each other, doing these things. How many are going to make it? And man, I walked out of that and I'm like, oh boy, if they can catch lightning in a bottle like they did tonight and do that, right? Like,
yeah.
It was just so impressive. And obviously the Night Rider, that event, I've had so many tracks message me going, can I use that footage? We're doing an event like that, right? We saw it at Freedom Factory, but when they parked the car in that trailer and then the big fire boom at the end, I'm like, man, they're going to make they're going to make this go here. And it was a great crowd, which too, you're kind of wondering, like, but even with Leah and Hartford, right? You guys have a loyal thing. So, how do you keep one-upping? How do you keep raising that bar even more to make racing great again?
Well, John, I'm not going to give John's secrets out because I'm not, yeah. But he has a lot of tricks up his sleeves. We've got some good events coming out. We have 3 different Day of Reckoning events coming up. It's May 10th, July 12th, and then August 16th. And one thing that we are going to do for the the NOD crowd is do autograph night on July 12th.
Okay.
It's a different way that we can get them to have a little bit of a following, get that person-to-person interactions. That's always helpful for any business you're in. So I think that will really set a tone within itself too. And then doing them on Sundays when nothing else is going on, usually, I think that will also give us some fire with it.
Well, I know New Paris Speedway, their night instructions, are top notch too, and they do autograph sessions, and that's a big hit, there. So So that's going to allow for your drivers who are doing night instructions at M40 to make that connection with the fans and really start building that community there too. Because everybody wants the track to succeed, right?
Oh yeah.
You got to do things for everybody, right? There are people who like crashing and they want to see cars crash. Well,
Hmm.
crashing $40,000 cars isn't fun,
Right. Right.
getting a junkyard car and purposely crashing that, knowing that you'll just take that car, put it back in the scrapyard, and get a new one, right? Like that's different, but it delivers the entertainment that people are looking for. So I know, again, you guys are just you always find a way, to take the next step. And I know you got the Down syndrome race again with Drew right this year too.
Yep, that's August 16th or 15th. Sorry.
I don't know. You would know more than me.
I wrote it down.
I don't even know what day today is. So
what events are you looking forward to? Like you've highlighted the Day of Reckoning. We have the Down syndrome race with National Compact Touring Series. I think this is the second year in a row that you guys are doing that together.
Third. Yeah.
Third in a row. And then I know you have Reveal the Hammer is coming back, and you have the Judgment Day for Street Stock. So what are some of your big events that people can look forward to?
We have the Monster Outlaw Madness. That's coming up too. That's our Monster Outlaw race.
Yep.
And that's May 30th. We moved the date. It was over Memorial Day weekend last year, but we did go ahead and move that. And then we also I'm going to circle back to Judgment Day. That one's always awesome for us because we do our Toys for Tot drive as well with that. And that's just back into the community, trying to get that all reined in. Then we have the August 15th, the compacts coming out and seeing us. And then our championship night, we also tie in with autograph night too, because everybody's there. So may as well get an autograph from whoever was going to win and all the good stuff. And then our Indiana Michigan Challenge Cup is September 4th through the 16th.
And for people who may not know, who are watching this, right? There's a lot of people who are watching who obviously know Russell's M40 Speedway and all that, but they may not know the Mottville history and your guys' connection with Mottville. Obviously, it's a track we all miss, but that was a Mottville event that you guys were able to bring over. So can you give a little bit of a background on, Russell's M40 Speedway's connection with Mottville and bringing in some of those Mottville traditions and even some bleachers while you were at it? So kind of that history there.
Yeah, so Grandpa and Merle, if you guys don't know, Merle was the one who owned, Merle and Judith were the one who owned Mottville Speedway. Grandpa raced there forever. I mean, they became really good friends in the long run of everything, and we were originally supposed to buy that track. But things changed, everything changed. So when the church, Restoration Church, bought it, we reached out to them and just said, hey, can we do a send-off? It'll kind of help, again, with that community, trying to get, people get their piece with that. And Restoration Church did an amazing job with that send-off. They let people take the part of the track home and all that stuff. But since that has such a strong meaning to Grandpa and really everybody in the community, we don't ever want to see another racetrack go down. We decided to tie that in to try to live that legacy in there. So we have our sign underneath their sign underneath the tower. The bleachers will hopefully be put up here soon. But yeah, just trying to tie in that legacy, if you will.
And where do you guys plan to put those bleachers? I mean, you got lots of seating all over. So you're thinking, is that like a turn 1, 2? Is that going to be a fan zone? Is it going to be an extension of the pit area? Like, where do you guys plan to put those?
I don't try to wear that hat, believe it or not. But John has a couple ideas about it. We just really need to fine tune it to make sure. Yep. But there's been talk on by 1 and 2. There's been talk on the other side of it on 3 and 4, but we're just not sure yet.
All right.
Not a hat I want to wear.
Oh no, but I was, just with that connection, right? Like I know Wassail Speedway, when Rockford closed, the Wassail Speedway, they bought quite a few of the Rockford stands, right? And so, there's a little Rockford, Illinois history, at least at Owasso, where they get to live another life. And I know, they kind of put them in some different spots. So I didn't know if you guys had a plan with Mottville, if you're going to call it like the Mottville Crazies or Mottville Corner or Mottville Maniacs, or, have something that just kind of, ties in that history. Because I know you guys have been really good stewards of respecting that. You held an event, at the Mottville kind of send off with the church and worked with them. So like you've established, like it hurts to lose that track, but it's a place we love, and you guys are very good about promoting the church, right? Like you don't want them getting flack for
Right.
a decision that was decided, right? Like it is what it is, and yeah, it stinks, but we don't have to hate them, right? We don't have
Right.
to dislike
Right.
them. They're doing things for them, and Merle might be smiling at that. He built a church, and a church is now being built. Where he built his church, right? And so that's why I was just wondering with the bleachers, because I know you guys have had those like a year or two now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, I know we have to restore a couple
Yeah.
things on them, but I'm sure John will come, or John, or maybe we'll pick your brain about it, about what to call that.
Yeah, just something a little. Again, you guys just do things different in a good way, right? Like, and it's unique, and I think that's what people really appreciate. I mean, just each time I get to make a visit and seeing the crowd, it's like, man, I remember being here in 2023 at the start and just seeing how far it's come. You see all the photos that pop up, the even with the Outlaws, right? That was a big thing for you guys to bring the Outlaws back and have Reveal. And so with Reveal even coming back, like what did the Outlaws do for you guys last year where that really showed you like, man, we need Reveal here, or even just our own Outlaw show all the time? Like you have your limiteds who put on a crazy crazy races too. So like even how did the Outlaw thing come about?
Donnie and Richie are amazing at what they do with the Reveal the Hammer series. And Grandpa has been friends with both of them forever as well. So we just had a conversation when Donnie owned State Line Bar, and we just sat down and figured out what we wanted to do, how we wanted to do it, and we just ran with it. But yeah, our spectator count that day was, I mean, our stands were full, which is amazing to see, because we can hold 5,000 people on our bleachers. So that was just amazing to see that there was such dedication to that, and it gave I think we got a lot more new dedicated fans to us as well, because of that show, because we take care of our facility, our concessions are great, and people just wanted to come back for more.
So let's talk about Meghan. Before Meghan was at the racetrack, who is Meghan? What did she do? Racing has always been a part of your life, but people don't know Meghan outside the racetrack. You have some nice kids. You have a husband or a fiance. I'm not sure. I apologize. You just tell everybody who Meghan is. We know Meghan at the racetrack, because a lot of people don't ever get that opportunity.
Yeah, I'm a mom. I have a 9-year-old, a 5 or almost 6-year-old. He turned 6 here in a couple days. And then I have a baby. Everybody saw me waddling around a couple years ago with it. She's 1.5 years right now. Outside of working at the racetrack, I run a junkyard called Purgatory Salvage. I've been there, I think it's been 8 years now, I believe. Before that, I did corporate HR at Patrick Industries. And I've always done photography on the side. I don't know. I guess I don't ask this myself very often. I ran cross country in college. That's a fun fact.
That is a fun fact, because you'll never see me running across country.
I ran cross country, but then Culver's moved into Stevensville, and it all went down from there.
Over. And I love basketball. Basketball has been one of my favorite sports forever. I played forever. But yeah, and I really like the White Sox. I know. I don't need any comments, Drew. I don't need them, but
No, actually,
die hard.
Actually, we are going to go to a White Sox game this year. When we get the schedule, me, you, Bill, and our entire family, we're going to a White Sox game in Comiskey Park against the Tigers. And I'll be the only one rooting for the Tigers.
Okay.
So, but
that'll be fun.
And I didn't know your HR background, like doing that kind of deal. So, how do you think that's kind of helped you in the racing world? Having just that resume, that background, bringing that all forward, how has that really, helped you as you, manage like day-to-day operations at a racetrack? Help manage, maybe. I don't want to take,
Yeah, no.
like, hey, I do stuff too, but,
Right.
You do a lot, right? Like many hats.
Yeah, I think it's taught me to like how to talk to people, and like how to connect with people, or like say things in a way that you will understand them.
Mm-hmm.
That's helped a lot. And then HR, I mean, you're wearing many hats anyway, so
Right.
You're doing a little bit of everything. So I think just having that background as just a general, and then being a multi-sport athlete growing up, I think it's just been, it's made the hats kind of not as intimidating, I guess.
Yep. And do you find like being a female, right? And just like Leah, right? You both are strong women in motorsports, and with it being Women's History Month, do you ever find that to be an advantage or a disadvantage sometimes, like when you're handling those tough conversations with drivers in a very man-driven world, right? Like, do you ever find like, hey, no, like I'm the big kahuna here, and like this is how it goes. Like we'll smack down right here, and what? And I'm not saying that that happens, right? But how do you
Right.
navigate those challenges?
I think a lot more people have respect for me that I am a woman in handling a lot of the tougher situations, to be completely honest. Like I haven't been hit yet, so that's a plus. But just hearing a different person, like point of view, and I'm not going to come at you and yell at you. I'm just going to be
Right.
like, okay, why are we mad today? You know, and just even having that kind of approach as a woman to problems like that, I think helps a lot of situations, to be completely fair.
Yeah. Well, that's where I was just wondering, like, because I've seen you handle some tough situations in time I've been there, and I just kind of sit to myself, go, wow, she could have like escalated that, right? Like you
Right.
could have just went from 0 to 100 pretty quickly, and when you have someone in your face who's being very disrespectful and just like downright, where you're like, hey, nobody else get involved, like she has control of this, obviously. I mean, you from a distance, it's like she has control, she knows what she's doing, but like patience of a saint. So it's like
I've come to realize that they're not yelling like at me, they're yelling like to
this,
me. You know,
yeah,
they're
yeah,
infuriated with something that's going on or didn't go on or whatever the case is. But I've learned to not take it personally. That also probably helps too.
yeah. And that's that HR background, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that does come from, that spot where you've established that line, like you're just the messenger in some ways, right? Like you're just delivering,
Right.
like this is what it is, or this is the decision that was made, and while I can empathize that you may not like it or you may not agree with it, at the end of the day, this is where we are. We'll look
Right.
into it to make sure all of our ducks are quacking in the right way, but like this is what it is, buddy, or miss,
Right, right.
like that's done, right? So, but I just wondered, especially with it, with this month, a lot of conversation in motorsports is going to be about strong women in racing and racing in general, and that's where I just wondered, with you being such a front facing, person at the track, like, how do you handle all that? Because there has to be times where you just sit there and go, "Let peace be with me," and like, kudos to you and Leah.
Thank
I've seen Leah handle some tough things. I'm like, man, like I have patience with Saint, but I don't know that I could have handled that, right?
Right, right.
Well, with that being said, we certainly appreciate you taking the time. You and I and the family got a lot of work to do over the next month, and you're still trying to get ready for your season. And I keep pestering you with more events. So, we where can they learn more about Russell's M40 Speedway? Your website, Facebook, any other information you want to share with the listening audience tonight?
Facebook is a huge one. We just redid our website. It's russellsm40speedway.com now. It's not just m40speedway.net. So please don't go to that one. But we do TikTok too. I just signed us up for Snapchat as well. Just trying to get all the platforms, I do utilize X as well. So just trying to get it all across there, but Facebook's huge and our website will give you all the information that you need.
And coming up March 14th, before we forget, you do have I called it a job fair when I made the banners. I'm like, it's not like a fair where there's going to be lots of businesses there, but like you guys have some open positions that you're looking to fill. So while the date's up here, do you want to give a little bit of background on that too?
Yeah, so we're going to do it March 14th and 15th. It's 1 to 6 on the 14th. We're looking for concessions people. I have some pit crew spots that I really could fill. It's with that, some gatekeepers, some ticket people, just a little bit of everything. Security is going to be a big one. And we host them as like open interviews. So you come see me, you fill out a form. I talk your ear off like I usually do for about 3 minutes. And then we send you to which section that we feel you'd be a best fit at.
And so again, the dates are March 14th and 15th. So my graphic is slightly wrong. I need March 15th in there, but 1 to 6 on that. Saturday, and then Sunday
is 1 to 4.
1 to 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then I know you guys also are going to be at the Century Center in downtown South Bend coming up for the South Bend Auto Show again too. So do you want to give a little bit of background on what you guys plan to do there again this year?
Yeah, so I will put together another video for people to drive or walk by and actually get a feel for what we do. We'll have our tractors joining us. Our modified tractors will be in our booth.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. And I think Ed is as well. That's who runs that. But we will have that. And then we are entering a car to be judged. I will leave that one under the blanket as well. But yeah, I love the South Bend Auto Show. I talked to so many people that day too. And there's a really good turnout with that. So
yeah, this will be Kalamazoo's 3rd year being there, and that kind of all falls on me to organize that and bring that together. And it's a lot of work. So, with that, what's something that when, not only connecting with people, but what's something you look forward to with the South Bend Auto Show other than you get to show your car, show your track, connect with people? Is there anything else that you look forward to coming out of that?
I like to see the cars. Yep. I like to walk around and do all that stuff and see really what kind of groups there are out there and all of that stuff too. So, but it's just a really good event as well. Yeah.
That's where Pam Mason and her radio station team, they do all of that. And that's something that her and I are having conversations about how I can help them on those days too. And just to bring more, presence to it, because that's something that, you'll see me a couple of times running around and, I might ask you again to do your little WWE walk. That's where I stole that from. Do your little walk. And I know Bill did it a few years ago, but it's a fun, and the people really enjoy seeing everyone else kind of walk around and seeing things too. So I know I look forward to that show every year, just because of the connections. It almost feels like a reunion. Like, how's it going? Because you get a lot of the same cars in the same spots. People, you get to know each other, and so they'll update like, well, how's it been since then? Well, I got new lights under here, and so it's that connection. It's like going to the Rumble in Fort Wayne. It's a reunion. Every year you get to see the same people, and it's like the one time it's a family gathering. So I know that show's pretty awesome. So I know you guys I think you guys are in that same spot as you have been the last couple of years. So people got to get by you to get everywhere else.
I know. I love it.
So again, Meghan, I know we tried to get you on last week and you had your little date night. So I hope that went well. I'm so glad that you were able to make tonight work and join us, and definitely with Leah too joining us. So again, I definitely appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Are we going to see you on Friday at MSPA?
No, you are not.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll get an email about that later too.
I get Leah to come, and you can't make it. It is literally.
Is Leah going?
She is. Leah
Maybe
and
I
Tim.
can talk my mom into it.
Your mom's going too.
Is she? Okay. Well, you know more than I do.
They better be, because I told them they were going to be there. Respond to your email from
right.
But no, if Leah's going to be there, now Leah only lives like 5 minutes from, not even that, like 3 blocks from that place. But it's at Lane Automotive. You don't have to drive to Lansing. It'll be come for the morning part, and don't stand for when me and Lewis have to talk. But we'll
get to talk this year, Lewis?
I think he's coming.
Oh, I didn't know about Friday. I know I'm at Indiana Coalition on Thursday. We'll talk about Friday because I have Friday. Okay. Yeah, this week I'm at Sprint 500 Tour in Carmel, Indiana on Wednesday. Then I'm in Speedway at PRI headquarters on Thursday for the Indiana Coalition. Then Friday, right now, is kind of looking like opening, but it might be filling it up. And then Saturday, the Safety Summit. But Waterville 8 for me, when people are like, who's going to Lanes today? And I think like, well, that's not that far. But for other people, it's far. It's in my county. So for me, it's like home field advantage. It's like, get on the highway, go to exit 42 or whatever that is, and it's like right there, right? Like I'm at 24 and I go to 42. It doesn't feel that big, but I know I'm excited for that. So I'll find out from Drew what I might be doing on Friday. I might have a fill-in date.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I'll see you Wednesday at some point. Definitely Friday, because I'm going to still make you go on Friday.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for joining us tonight, Meghan, and we'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yep. See you later.
All right, Lewis. Well, I appreciate it. Was a great show. Leah and Meghan are always great interviews. I don't think they get enough credit. I think we'll try to talk Tim into coming in one night before the season starts. And Johnny, you'll see polar differences between the two. Johnny is a character and very very unique, and unique in a good way, because that's what makes M40 Speedway, or Russell's M40 Speedway. And Tim is, like Leah, the backbone of the race operations, but kind of like me, more reserved, doesn't like to be the front of things, and just wants to get it done. So
Yeah.
we'll definitely get Tim, if he can do a call-in podcast last year, he can do a video podcast for 20 minutes. So
Yeah. Well, that's what I appreciate about like Leah and Tim is, even though it's their, and even the Russells too, right? Like, they don't give themselves enough credit, for what they do. And that's something that, Tim and Leah gave me my start in 2022 when I was a nothing, just kind of messaged Leah out of the blue saying, hey, I'm going to your late model show or whatever it was. I forget, it was June 10th because they had all those rainouts in May. And I messaged saying, hey, late models were the week after. I said, hey, I'm coming out, I have nothing to do on a Friday. Would I be allowed to video? Because anywhere I go, I ask for permission. Would I be able to do that? And they said, sure, come out. And then that turned into being all season, right? And so that's something that they gave me my start. So, I've told them I'll always have their back. And but they don't give themselves enough credit, right? Even the Russells, they're not out in the front, and I think that's why you and I get along so well, is we're not out in the front, shining the spotlight on us.
I get mad. You can ask my staff. I get mad when they post my picture on Facebook, or they try to give me some acknowledgement, or they try to just say, hey, thank Andy. No, I do this for the races. I don't need a thank you on that aspect of it. But I have been able to learn so much about the Russell family over the last 2 years, with the opportunity of spending a week at a time in Florida with them at the MSPA, doing our events there. So many people judge a book by its cover, and they are very intelligent people.
Yeah.
They didn't get where they're at by not being. They're unique and different in a way, and I don't mean that in a bad way.
Oh.
It's meant in a good way, because that's what makes M40 Speedway. It creates the different ideas.
Yeah.
The same thing with Tim and Leah. They are the polar opposites of each other. Tim is very laid back. Leah is right to the point in a good way, and making sure that it gets done. And it just balances each other's out, and that's why it makes a Friday-Saturday combination between Hartford and Russell's M40 Speedway so good, because they all have their own strengths, and they have their team that fills in the weaknesses that they may not know. This will be probably going on 25 years on this side of the fence from when I quit racing now, from being a track promoter at Angola Motor Speedway to M40 Speedway, to finally saying to hell, I've had enough of this crap, and I'm going to do it my own direction. I have more fun doing it by myself. I get the opportunity to rent great venues thanks to Randy Ritchie and his family at Kalamazoo, Jim Leisure at Corgan Oil, Tim and Leah, and the Russell family. If it wasn't for those four people, including, Cletus McFarland, gave us a chance to do a co-event show with them down at the Freedom Factory. And you just, as you get older in this, you don't need the recognition. You don't want to be in front of it. And quite honestly, I get pissed. I just don't like it. But at the end of the day, they all have their own places in the world in racing, and I think they found it out, and they do a great job at it.
Oh yeah, and it makes racing in Southwest Michigan, Northwest Indiana, right? It just makes it stronger. When everyone's healthy, or trying to be healthy, right? Like, because I just think of like the limited late model class. New Paris was the first one to really dabble in that, and they had a couple cars, and it wasn't really, but when Russell's and Kalamazoo joined that, it just added more, right? And so now you get to see all this talent jump in, because it's not just at one track, it's at multiple. And for Leah and Tim, right, they've been able to overcome a lot of challenges, right, at Hartford, where they're able to be strong. So again, it's just exciting to see that the tracks are doing at least what they can within as much as they can control, and being unique to themselves, like the Race of Doom, the Day of Reckonings, the Community Days.
And it's every racetrack. It's not them two. It's Berlin Raceway. They have their own set of challenges, and they do an amazing job up there. Galesburg Speedway, Kalamazoo Speedway, we're all in this together. And I think we've all understood that and figured that out. And we all work together behind the scenes. There might be some bumps in the road in between that. Corgan Oil, another one. I've become friends with the kids at Flat Rock. They do an amazing job. It's just so much. But the one thing that I'm going to make a comment on here, I've seen some comments come through our post. We do not tolerate any negative comments towards any other racetracks or any individuals or any divisions of racing. We certainly would encourage you not to put those comments on our page, because that'll find a good way for you to get blocked. Because we want to support all tracks, all racing, all individuals. And I myself, my brand will not be attached to comments like that, because when Lewis and I put this show together, we want it to be from NASCAR to little cars to the littlest tracks in the UP in Michigan to the biggest tracks in the state of Florida. We want to have some fun. It's not a competition, but I just want to clarify that most of the comments have been good tonight, but there's no sense poking us, because you won't be able to watch the show.
Right. Well, and speaking of watching the show, if anybody missed anything, I spent quite a few hours last week getting the show available on a lot of different platforms. So it can be found on Facebook, but I know with a Facebook page like mine and yours, we're constantly posting things, so it's easy to get buried. So it's on YouTube, which tonight we were live on YouTube. Last week I uploaded both of the previous episodes, so tonight it'll also be on YouTube and on Spotify. And this is free. Subscription is not required to watch it on any of these platforms. So on Spotify, you can also watch the video version. And then you can also find audio only version on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio. Again, all for free. I didn't put us behind a paywall or a subscription. It's not monetized, by the way, just so everybody's understanding that too. So if you go to Spotify, any of those, it's the same show. It's just whatever is easy. So if you know someone missed it, you can go to any of those. If you go to my website, the new website that I launched about a month ago, topperacingmedia.com, and the top there is the link to Spotify and some of the other spots too to find it. And it's also on our website under media. Go to podcasts, and it has all the links right there. So again, if someone's not on Facebook, they can watch us live on YouTube, and if they can't watch us live there on YouTube, they can also get it on Spotify or wherever else. So when you said watch, I want to make sure that, let's plug those spots so that if people miss it, they can go back. In the RSS feed updates, as soon as I get this to Spotify, it'll update the rest of the way out. So sometime after the show, it'll be on there.
No, and first of all, I want to thank all of the people that have watched. I know Lewis's lot have got a great comments in regards to feedback. Again, we're just here to do things a little bit different. I do plan on talking to Irish this week and putting our plan about the round table. We got some more ideas Lewis brought up tonight that I think would be good ideas. Again, I'm okay with just introducing the guys and then removing myself from the conversation and just sitting back and listening to it, because both Meghan and Leah had a lot to say tonight, a lot of good things. We learned stuff about both of them. I don't think they take enough credit for what they do, and their families, because I think Lewis is seeing now on this side of the business, it's really tough. I sacrifice my own brand to help other brands, and a lot of people don't know that, and it shows on my brand when I'm doing that. I'm starting to try to realize that I can't do everything now. So some exciting news from Midwest Compact side. We announced that Scott Rich will be our tech guy for 2025. And then I can announce, I've known for a few days, and Matt just couldn't help himself from putting it out today.
Oh, yeah, the car. Yeah.
We do thank Quality Graphics, Matt Elzy, for coming aboard to help us, because we are going to have a spot at the Lane Safety Summit from 8 to 2. Lane Automotive has really taken an all-star performance. Kurt Spalding, Ryan Disterhoff, and Matt Kemp have given us an opportunity to showcase what four-cylinder racing is about. Quite honestly, it's a butt end of a joke for street stock guys and modified guys and late model guys and sprint car guys, where some of these guys have more money in their cars than these late model guys do. And we have this opportunity to showcase that. They have full suppression systems. I bet there's some late models that don't have full fire suppression systems. They have full containment seats, whole bunch of safety features, and just wanted to, a little long-winded as usual, but wanted to thank Matt Elsie and Quality Graphics because he derailed his plans. I did not know this. This is something I asked before I went to Florida, and I finally got the answer because my email had been down for a week and a half. I didn't find out till like last Friday, and then I asked Matt. He goes, well, I'm not going to have – I got a message about 4 hours later. He says, we'll have it done. So a big thank you to Matt Elsie, Christina, and it was a lot of work for them to do that because Matthew is out in your favorite place, Stamford, Connecticut, playing for the Connecticut Junior Rangers, and they are out in the playoffs. So they'll probably be watching Matthew play on their phone while they're there, but Matt Sr., I think, will be there to answer questions on his cars. And I encourage late model guys, sport compact guys to come to this Lane Safety Summit because they put a great amount of effort into it. And also they do give you a lot of discounts available for this. And they are doing it on a Saturday this year. A lot of the racetrack promoters will be there. There's main stage. I think they give away food for this event if you register. I don't know what the deadline is for it, but you can go to Lane Automotive's website and pre-register for it. I would. They do a lot of giveaways. I just can't say enough of that group. Kurt Spalding and Ryan Disterhoff, the Lane family. Darren gets up and gives tours of the facility there. This is the only day of the year they open up the entire building to showcase what they do for the racing community.
Well, they have a lot of speakers lined up too. I know David Stremme, for a lot of people who know the Stremme dynasty, I know David will be up here. Wasn't Tyler Rohrig on the list? Maybe not. I'll have to look again. I don't remember all the graphics, but I felt like there's enough names too that people would recognize and know from the industry who'll be there doing some different presentations. So I know I'm looking forward to it. And it's also, they have a Facebook page. So a few days ago, I tagged the page as an upcoming event on, I think it was March 1st that I posted that. So if people go to their event page, it has the RSVP link if they go to the information spot. So that was on March 1st that I post that because I posted my schedule for the month. So yeah, the rollover car is going to be there. I think KTS might be a part of that somehow. I think they might be there. So there'll be a lot of familiar faces too.
I'm pretty sure Donnie mentioned something about having to get the truck fixed and
yeah, I think that was going to be there. So again, for anyone just joining, or if you missed something, you'll be able to watch the whole show live as soon as we're done here. It'll be right back on Facebook. It'll show live, and I'm not posting anything the rest of the night. My March Motor Madness is going to update online, so I won't be interrupting it. And then if you know someone not on Facebook, they can get it on YouTube, where we're live now, and then they can also get it on Spotify, or if they want audio only, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Music. So a lot of places to listen.
Yeah, this guy doesn't need any cheat codes. One good dirt wheel man there.
Yeah, and I forget what place he got at Hartford, but wasn't it? I know he got a trophy at Hartford for their points, and he kind of has a win streak going on here with Enduros too. That old school 2022 E, when that shows up, that's fun. So, I like watching that car zoom around. Ice, dirt, pavement. I mean, he knows how to do it.
I'm guessing he'll have both big car and little car at Russell's 140. So, well, with that being said, Lewis, again, I just want to thank RevX, sponsor of the National Compacts, 2BG Tune, US Speedo, Accent Roofing, Pit Viper Sunglasses. I'm sure I'm missing some. We will be updating. Our website's almost done. I want to thank Frank over at Race Reach Media, who is beyond that. He actually wrote a new spreadsheet that'll be easy to connect to our website for our points and anybody knows anything about Excel, it's not easy putting the right formulas in there when you have some idiot that says you're going to have 2 throw-out nights. And then after he gets the spreadsheet done, he adds 2 more races to the schedule. So thank you to Frank over at Race Reach Media for helping us out. And then, of course, Lewis has got some sponsors and partners that help him out as well.
Yep, definitely Quality Graphics, which I know is a shared partner. They do everything top row, and I love seeing their updates. I saw the car when it was not wrapped. That was like Friday night at 8 p.m. They were still working on it and getting ready. And then Tri-State Sprints joined on. And again, if there's anyone interested who's looking to be a marketing partner, again, my onboard cameras are free to drivers. That's something that I could not put my head on my pillow at night if I charge drivers for that. I don't believe in it. Even though a lot of people tell me I'm stupid and I should do that, but I'm not going to do that. I know other places who do, and that's good for them. It's not the model I'm going for, but I am looking for marketing partners because, as I talked last week, in the hole 2 years in a row, not good. And it's not just a little in the hole, not like your nights. I know, our numbers are different, but from a media side, I don't know if people watch the news, but on WSBT last night, they were just talking about SD cards have tripled in pricing since just December. And, every camera I have requires an SD card. So all these hidden expenses there. So definitely looking for marketing partners. That's all on my website. I have a few in the works. We just got to turn the maybes, and we're looking into converting it to a few presidents coming my way. So
yeah, real quick, just to answer David's question. You do not have to register for the Lane Safety Summit.
Right.
Only if you want to be eligible for the
prizes. Yeah.
For the prizes is the only thing. Tim Dibble called me and told me that Friday. I don't even remember what day. I was busy on my way to do something. Must have been Saturday. I don't know.
I want to shout out a couple people too. We got Chucky, who was in here again. I know he's been here for all 3 shows, and so definitely shout out to him. We had the mayor James in here. I know Tina Lewis. I see Louis Lorkey, from Springport Corgan Oil jumped in here. Definitely huge supporter. His fire suit had top row embroidered on the back of it a few years ago, so definitely amazing group there too. So I know we've seen a couple names that have been here on all 3 episodes with Buju, and then last week with Irish Saunders. So I want to shout out those who have stayed around and watched and support us. So we definitely appreciate it. It's our official 3rd episode, but our 2nd Monday doing this. So again, I just appreciate those who come and support us.
And again, this is all going to be about fun and just having a good time with everybody. And our Rolodexes are deep, so you'll never know who will be on this podcast. It could be just a couple of drivers. It could be a round table. It could be we didn't announce anything, and there's a really big name on here. So just keep tuning in and having some fun with this, because when it's not fun anymore, I think both Lee and Lewis will probably see our way out of this. But as you guys keep it fun, we'll keep doing it.
And if anyone's interested in joining us, right, you can reach out to myself or Drew too. Just, we're going to plan this for about every Monday. And I know there's a lot on Mondays going on and different things, but, it works for us, especially once race season starts, because my editing days are Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And I know once the race season starts, it gets a little stressful to squeeze everything in. So Mondays just, there's not a lot going on now. So it may seem like why a Monday, but Mondays just seem to really work, because once race season starts, it's not what it's today. It's what is it 50 days from now? And 50 days from now, Tuesday through Thursday look very different for Drew and I. So
give you a little insight. This is a note I wrote to myself last Monday, and there's still about 10 things on that list that are not done yet.
There was 13 at one time, so you got rid of 3, but you probably added some since then too. So
absolutely. Well, with that being said, Lewis, I hate to cut out on you, but it's getting late.
That's time to go. Yeah. All right. Again,
I'll let you send this out, but thank you. It was a lot of fun tonight, and thank you to Meghan and Leah for.
Yep, absolutely, and thank you guys again for watching. And again, you can find this on a few different channels. We'll see you next week.